Hey guys, welcome back to some more Skyrim, and today I got over a dozen mods that I know you guys will most likely love. Some are underrated and some are pretty popular, I can't lie. I try and get a mix now so no one really feels left out anymore, but I know I still missed a few. But yeah, if you guys end up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button down below because I have fun making this for once. And if you end up finding maybe one or two mods you'll like or end up grabbing, make sure you also hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, let's dive right in and I hope you guys end up enjoying. First mod up today is called Girl's Travel Outfit. And yes, I know this one is popular, but I have to give it a showcase for the people maybe afraid to try an armor that isn't skimpy. And yes, this is an armor. Even though it looks like an outfit, it counts as light armor. This mod adds a very easy to equip also light armor to your game. It adds about 4 pieces and comes with base support for 3BA. But there's already patches for every other main body type on Nexus, hence why it's so popular. You just have to make sure you build your body and body slide first for those, otherwise you'll probably be invisible. To obtain this armor though is also very easy. All you have to do is craft it at a forge, so you can get this pretty early on. It's definitely nothing overpowered, but honestly we need more armors like this that can be used for just casual adventuring. But if you want a heavy armor, then you'll want this next mod, which is called Wayward Ranger armor. Now this armor is actually huge when you compare it to the previous armor. The amount of pieces coming with this armor is definitely over a few dozen. I didn't count because I didn't need to. But even though it has so many pieces, usually armors like that are hard to just find an outfit, but this one is surprisingly easy. And it's surprisingly simple to mix and match to find what you want here because this armor comes with multiple color variations as well as light armor variants for the heavy armor, which is the main one, but you know there is light armor for people that use it. There is about 4 pieces to each armor set that you can equip, along with hoods to go with each set, but honestly, I don't know if I messed up anything or if the hood was bugged, but it didn't look quite right, so I didn't include it just in case that was a bug, because this mod has so much more to offer than just some hoods. I can definitely see in this be a good armor for Lydia, honestly, if you give her the full set, but considering we're doing armors, I figure why not mention some armors men can also wear. This armor is called Garment of the Goliath. This is a heavy base armor set that is actually unisex. It's kind of very rare that we get a male only armor, but then again it will probably get less downloads if I'm being honest. This armor only comes with 4 pieces, which is actually perfect for me. I prefer simplicity, but the best part about this armor is the fact that it also has physics tied to the cloth part of the armor, along with the pouch on the waist and a necklace. The only issue I noticed with this armor though is that full weight for male, the back part of the armor clipped with the cloth. But honestly, just don't go full weight. Up next we have another male armor called the Witcher Armor by Kanjs. This is a remesh and retexture of another armor mod on Nexus, but this one includes 2 variants of that armor that you can see Geralt wearing in a TV series. I'd include a clip of him wearing it, but I'm afraid of copyright. This armor does also classify as light armor, but the armor isn't the only thing included with this mod. It also comes with 2 variants of a weapon. One comes as a one-handed sword, which I, by the way, have at 4K. You can get it at 1K if you want it, but I wouldn't recommend that, because it wouldn't be a real showcase if it wasn't 4K. But there's also the Great Sword, which is closer to what I believe Geralt was going for, but you can pick whichever you prefer to go with. Maybe I should have used a Geralt preset for this showcase though. Up next we have a water enhancement called Wavy Waterfalls effect. From the images on the mod page you may think this has a super ripple effect on your water, and maybe you were afraid to try this because of that. But as you can see, the effects are definitely noticeable, which is what I prefer, but not so much that they distract you. They blend perfectly with the water, and I just happen to be using 2 of the most conflict-ridden mods ever, which is water for ENB and natural waterfalls. It just goes perfect with those 2 though. This is definitely a mod I recommend to grab if you're grabbing nothing else from this video, just based on the enhancements that this brings to your environment. Because not everything needs to be a massive change, it's kind of the little things that matter more sometimes. And speaking of little things, we have a little enhancement that brings us to Whiterun. Overhauling Whiterun well with the small mod called Whiterun Well Overhaul. This is a simple well change that actually has quite a few patches already, because as you can see, I use Spaghetti Cities all in one, and this does have a patch for that thankfully. I didn't have to disable them out. It only has 2 variations though, which is fine by me. The first variation having elf lanterns, and the other one has normal lanterns or Lux Via lanterns if you have Lux Via installed, which 95% of 2024 modders have. This change to the well though is one of those kinds of mods you don't think you need from the showcase or the images until you actually have it, and now you most likely won't be removing it. Nonetheless, on to our next mod, called the Demara Blade. Bringing new one-handed weapon animations to your game. This does feature support for MCO. I used to say MCO, but for some reason people didn't like that. And also supports the new system that's taking over, which is BFCO. It's kind of been growing lately. These new animations though overhaul every single aspect of one-handed movement, from simply drawing the blade to even just moving around with it. I'm not really too sure how I feel about the movement animations, but I'll leave the reviews to you, because the attacking animations was what really sold me on showcasing this one. Also, the camera movement that you're seeing is not me doing anything fancy on purpose. That is simply what happens when using this mod to attack with smooth cam. I believe smooth cam has something to do with it, honestly. But honestly, it looks pretty cool. I know some of you hate screen shake though, but I feel like that's how this animation was intended to be used, because this is 100% meant to look cool and flashy. So I know it won't be for some of you, but for the other half of you that do enjoy flashy combat, you should 100% try this and just see how you feel about it. Moving on to our next mod though, which is a pretty simple mod overhauling the mushrooms of Soulstone, called Morrowind Mushroom Replacer. And I'll be honest, I never played any Bethesda game before Skyrim except for that short time on New Vegas, but I do know these mushrooms look great. And as you can see, it didn't replace every single mushroom on Soulstone, just a good amount so you can get some diversity in there. I'm not entirely sure though what texture resolution these are because it isn't shown on the mod page, but they aren't hideous up close, so it's a win-win. Our next mod though brings us to Riften for a famous follower that we all know, but this time we're overhauling the appearance of him with this simple mod called INIGO 2.0. As I said, I would start doing more appearance overhauls at you guys' request of course, and here we have a new appearance overhaul for a fan favorite. This overhaul though stays true to his original appearance while also still making it very noticeable that the changes were made, and it kinda still fit a modern remaster of Skyrim.
Skyrim is a big and often confusing place. We are bound to lose each other from time to time. Never fear, that map you have is
He kinda does like to talk a lot though, kinda like the next follower that you guys also appear to love. And that just happens to be Thalmor's shadow, Taliesin, because he also recently just got an appearance overhaul from a mod called Aurea Umbra. And like I said, he's also one of the ones that like to talk a lot, so why not make him look better? So you can at least enjoy looking at him, because we all know no one really likes a Thalmor. But at least he's a cool Thalmor, or at least that's what I think he is. But maybe cool isn't the correct term for him, considering he did just mass murder a group of innocent people. But maybe he looked cool while he was doing it, or at least he looks 10 times cooler now with this appearance overhaul, so he gets a pass. But on to our next mod, bringing us back to Whiterun, but this time we're going to be doing the interiors with the group of mods, overhauling Whiterun interiors by Tim. I usually avoid saying mod author's name because I usually say them wrong and I don't want to offend anyone. But Tim has been overhauling the interiors of Whiterun, which also, by the way, include Lux patches already thankfully, and they look amazing because I'm currently using them in this showcase. But if you see any slight flickering, it's because I didn't sort my load order. It's not this mod's fault. I did try and do befores and afters for these changes, but some were a little difficult because while some of the home interiors and layouts still look familiar, just clutter added to the area to make it seem different and actually lived in, which I might actually add, definitely change the place up enough for me to keep this mod. But for the most part, these interiors are almost completely changed. It was almost impossible to do before and after. Not only did this mod add extra clutter to make the homes feel lived in, Tim also added extra floors and extra rooms by expanding the interior a little, so they don't look run down and a copy and paste of one of another. As of right now, there has been only 4 houses changed, and fortunately, they are compatible for now with JK and snazzy interiors, so this is a great addition to people's Skyrim looking to pretty much change up every interior in their Skyrim, which is actually a mission I'm on right now. But it's also going to be a lot of plugins to patch considering if you use Lux. But hey, it's 100% worth it if you have 32GB of RAM at least and a good amount of VRAM, which I'm currently working on upgrading, but you know, things take time. And if I'm allowed to throw a bit of bias in here in the middle, the Uthgerd home is 100% my favorite home of this series. The house fits her so well in her prideful attitude. Nonetheless, now for a more controversial mod. This mod is called Neiva Deepwater, the Prisoner of the Tides. This mod is an AI voice follower to your game that you can find at the Lady Stone at Lake Ilinolta. But here's how she sounds so you can decide if you want this.
Who am I? I'm someone whose name has been erased in the midst of torn pages.
She's supposedly a mage from the College of Winterhold, but she uses a great sword. I'm not entirely sure why yet. but she has over 250 voice lines and is great at combat, even though she pretty much comes off as fan service when you first look at her. But you put on some nice armor for her, she looks amazing. So while I think it's a little cool, let me know what you guys think about this. And that was pretty much it for today, guys. Let me know what you thought down below in the comments and which mod you might end up using from this. But as of right now, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace and love, guys.